have no interest in your moral condemnation of John Wayne for racism if you support murdering innocent little babies in their mother's wombs, especially since black babies are murdered at a much higher rate than white babies. You have no moral credibility to condemn Wayne. Black Panther was robbed at the Oscars. Don't even try to convince me I'm wrong. Ordinarily no fan of moral revisionism. Mary Poppins and Nanny shameful flirting with blackface. John Wayne's worldview. Wow, the left is attacking John Wayne now. Never ends. Orange County is time machines. Never ends. Especially. Alright, so it seems like everyone is mad or whatever about everything, and since I don't really have nothing better to do, I guess I'll talk about this shit a little bit. So I'll start with the 3 things that's been bugging me. So here's the things people are angry at or slightly perturbed or whatever, and I'm gonna talk about it, I guess. I'll start with the Black Panther at the Oscars that like nobody was really mad about, maybe 3 people. It's a movie about 2 people fighting in catsuits. It wasn't the black movie we all needed, and I do believe that representation is important, and it probably meant a lot to kids out there to finally see a black guy as the star of a big budget superhero film, but kids don't give a fuck about the Oscars, and nobody does. Who the fuck watches the Oscars? You don't. Let me address this Mary Poppins bullshit. So I guess the author of this article about Mary Poppins portraying blackface must really be upset. Let me just see who the author is, because I can tell that they're tired of seeing their people portrayed in such a negative. Well, okay, well, let's just look at Tatiana's tweet then. She's clearly, from what she's saying, screaming from the heavens, trying to warn us about how this movie that nobody has seen in 40 years is racist. She's clearly a martyr, but for real, all sarcasm aside, this bitch needs to get all the way off her fucking high horse. Because you're really fighting on the front lines of this debate you created in your head. And I'm glad you're championing for black rights that literally no black person cared to comment on. All black people right now need to bend the fuck over for this gracious white woman who threw herself to the wolves to point out the fact that you can get dirty if you climb through a chimney. I'm sure you'll hold a high position in the NAACP next to this beautiful black queen. Lastly, let me address the John Wayne Airport controversy. Let's check out the author, and, well, if you haven't guessed by now, there's a pattern going on. I like how this interview resurfaced. Like, what resurfaced? Who was unaware that John Wayne was racist and a homophobe? Let me make this clear. I'm not defending John Wayne. I don't even like him. I think his movies fucking suck, and I've never seen one of them. But who was unaware that this weirdo was racist? Not me, for sure. Like, every time I've flown in or out of John Wayne Airport, he never crossed my mind. That's just the name of the airport. Do I think his comments were despicable? Yeah. And later, he died of cancer that he got from working on a radioactive movie set while portraying Genghis Khan. If that ain't swift justice, then I don't know what is. Side note, half the cast who worked on the movie got cancer. And honestly, I can agree wholeheartedly with this man. Who really cares? He's dead, and like I said before, he already got swift justice in my book. And I think the only person talking about the real issues going on at John Wayne Airport is this man right here. If we were to take another look and see who else in the community has things to say about John Wayne, we'd find that people, have a lot to add to the argument. Now, I don't think that in today's time we should honor racists or bigots in any way, but the airport is already named after him. He's an American icon. Now, before you guys crucify me, let's look at a bit of American history and current icons and everyday items you may come in contact with. Have you ever seen a dollar? Seriously, pull out your wallets and let's take a look at a dollar. Now, with that said, you ever seen a statue? Have you ever seen a politician or an elected official? Have you ever seen a cartoon? Have you ever seen a national anthem? Have you ever seen a black person? Have you ever seen a white person? Have you ever seen a music? Have you ever seen a wood? Have you ever seen a president? Have you ever seen a woman? Okay, let me be serious for a moment. Of course, I, as well as every reasonable human, wishes that things were not like that in the past, but that's how things were, and there's nothing we can do to change that. But to say things like that in the past never happened is to discredit all of our black heroes and why we celebrate them, and we're discrediting why things such as black excellence or excellence in women, minorities, the LGBT community, things like that You're taking away the achievements of the people in those communities because of the adversity that they had to face quite recently in history. It's no secret that U.S. history is sordid and shitty, but erasure is synonymous with saying that it never happened. And while pieces of shit still exist, we should celebrate the fact that we moved on from being the dumbass mongoloids this country started as to where we are today. I believe we still have a long way to go, but we're far from where we started. You guys can flame me up in the comments. I mean, I'm not a YouTuber, and I just wanted to make this and see who agrees or disagrees. I most likely won't make any more content, and if I do, it'll be videos of me eating venomous snakes and testing coffins.